Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay, something new for today. Bringing you massive value, as I would say, in all types of ways. I'm getting better at these agents day by day in the science of life. So, you know how it's gonna go. I just keep on going with the flow, getting right back to it. Not much more to say. Just want to keep working, making progress. All right. Check and make sure the stream is right. So far, so good. One last thing to check. All right, good. It's good. Just gotta go back and get my earplugs, my earphones, headphones. So I got through maybe a third of that, a little more than a third of that workflow yesterday. Let's see if I can't get it finished. Get it done. Getting it done. Right. I want to get back to working on this agents and the workflow for the marketing for this week for Stackivate. So let's go. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to start up the dev server if it's not started already. And I'm going to load up the dashboard, get that going, see where I'm at, and get back to you about what's next. Sometimes I can't tell how loud the music is on the stream. The way it's set up, it's like the same volume no matter what I change the volume to, but I can't see the stream. So I'm like, man, it's like a major life problem. And I feel like for how good the technology has gotten, I shouldn't have problems like that. So, I mean, I need to go and ask AI. So, sure there's a way to fix it. But either way, definitely seeing not just having the agents for the workflow. I mean, the agents are like, doing the work in the right order, checking the work, stuff like that. But just having the dashboard to follow along with for a workflow, I think helps things move a lot quicker and smoother. And being able to do the research at the same time. Give thanks for AI every time. Give thanks for life and health and strength. So that can use AI to provide more value, make life better for everybody. So we can spend more time living a life that we enjoy and have more resources and more abundance, more prosperity, more progress. Creating value in a way that I enjoy doing it and finding ways to AI to make AI make my work fly right by without even me having to do much. Like, why not only focus on the highest value things and then let the computer do everything else? There we go. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. First, I want you to commit and push everything that needs to be committed and pushed. And then, something important. I wasn't sure how this was working because right now I just pulled up the local server and it's showing me Stackivate marketing, like the old setup that I had. And I was in the process of building a new part of the dashboard to go through this specific workflow with this team of agents. And I plan on having more teams of agents, so like they should all be able to live on this dashboard. And essentially, when I first started building out the new stuff for the dashboard based on these agents, I said to add it on to everything that was already there. And every time it would pull up the server or give me the URL, it wouldn't show the old stuff, so I didn't know what was going on with that. But now it just opened up the local browser, and it's only showing me the way the dashboard used to look, and I don't see any of the new stuff. So this is a good time for me to understand this finally. The way I wanted the new stuff set up was so it was just added to the old dashboard, and then I was just going to use everything and then find out which like parts I liked the best for the workflow. But first help me understand this, and then if you can just do it so it's like how I wanted it. Like this dashboard I'm looking at right now, that's the original first like version of the dashboard I built. Just add all the new stuff for the AI agent workflow. Just add it like to what's already here instead of having it separate, so everything's in the same place. Nope. So I built a marketing system with Python, and it's running on what's called a Flask app. So that's like the local browser right now. Essentially, it hasn't even become a live site, but I'm planning on putting it live in the future. And I'm wondering, like, what is this kind of Flask app? They're calling it a Flask app. How is that different from other apps? Basically, the main thing I understand about it is it's got like better database capabilities for storing more data for marketing content. Help me understand. Am I understanding this correctly? Is there more to it? Okay, so let's I'm using next.js for another project that's the exact same project. It's like a marketing dashboard. How would that be different from the actual like dashboard app? And assume that I'm using the SQL database, not just not just the database built into the next.js app, but actual backend database. How would it be different from the way this is set up right now? I refresh the page and I do not see the agent fleet section at the top with the titles for each surface like you said. I'm even going to give you a screenshot. Right, I'm in business. Mission control. We go. All right, I'm in business. I'm on mission control. I'm on this week. What I'm looking at is under number 2, listen and decide. The next step I should be at is feature gate. But first, before that step, there is reply queue and Reddit listening. There's the option to open the review queue. So essentially, from what I understand, this is the one of the agents finds posts for me to review, and this is where the queue or line of post is where I can access them. So like if I mark this as done, there's going to be a new one every day. So like marking it as done, this seems like maybe it's more part of the daily loop. I'm not really sure. This seems like, you know, it's not a big deal, but it seems like just a part of the workflow that isn't like, doesn't make 100% sense to me to have it where it is and have it be doing what it's doing, especially being the fact that it's going to update every day with new posts for me to review. So it's like, do I just like come on here every day and mark it done when this is more of the weekly mission control? That being said, let me know what you think, what you recommend. First, let me know everything that this card like does, this part in the workflow, and what your ideas on implementing it in the best part of the workflow, and we'll go from there. Yeah. Also, I did have some kind of synthesis feature on the original marketing dashboard. So you could just take a note to later look into finding ways to get more data for the essentially like the weekly pain point that I'm finding. Because just from going over a few posts, I don't think that's going to do that much. But that's more when I can focus on each individual part of the workflow to make it better. First, I just want to set up the whole thing. First, I just want to get to know you. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want them answered immediately. Yes, I will set up the whole thing. And then go back and try to make each part better. And it's like the majority of the like the value is gonna come from just setting it up. And I think that most of these processes I could probably find ways to make it faster and smarter. But how much faster and how much smarter will I be able to make it versus how much time it takes me to like do that extra step? And the opportunity cost of actually building a brand new system. I don't know, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Do I go on and just like start building a new system, or do I try to take this system to the next level first and then start building a new one? Where is the leverage? Where am I going to get the biggest benefit for my time? I think just like kind of speaking out loud, I think the answer to this would come from just doing an audit of like where I'm spending my time after I get this first workflow that took the most of my time done. And it's like, okay, now that that marketing process has like been cut way down, what's the next process where I'm spending the most of my time? Then compare that to what if I just made that marketing process better. And I feel like I gotta make it better anyway. And part of me is like, well, even if maybe I think I get a better ROI for my time setting up another system and just holding off longer on like doing the advanced stuff on top of the team, I think my learning curve will expand much more, and life is all about expansion. Life is all about getting bigger and better, getting your weight up so you can have the next opportunity available at the right time. So I think thinking about it like that and talking to myself, then I just had a conversation with myself on the internet. But anyways, yeah, I think that does make so much sense that I should definitely be like adding on the next level to this first team before I build a new team, because that's like learning. And I feel like even then too, if I add on this next level to this team, I mean, it won't be perfect, but I'll get better at building this stuff out, and the next like regular system I build out would be better. Welcome to the chat. Respect every time. Aye, aye. Aye, aye, Captain. Yes, I. Oh, I see what they did. I'm gonna just leave this here for now, because maybe I'll find I'm not even going to the daily stuff. I doubt that, but this makes more sense. Okay. Alright, so you're talking about opening up the upload package and reviewing it. I know what you mean, because that is like the rest of the stuff from the video. I've already got it created, I just basically need to post it. And right now there's still a few things with the workflow that I want to get to while I'm fresh in this session, while my brain is still feeling the most energy. Okay. I see what you did with the reply listening. And essentially it's the same thing, you just added on the daily session thing. I was thinking you were going to put that somewhere else. I don't see how it's split. Because I was looking at the reply pipeline, and I see that it looks like the same information can also be found on the reply pipeline. And that's more of like the daily stuff, I feel like the daily view of like these cards and this stuff, the way it flows together. But I did not see anything there, and even there on the reply pipeline, it doesn't give me the option to actually like pull up the post in another tab in the browser, and then the reply is automatically there. So it's like I can't actually like accomplish anything through there. It's just showing me the comments that are waiting or the posts that are waiting. So let me know first, am I understanding this correctly? If so, and you didn't move part of this card that we were just working on, number 2, reply listening, feature signal. If that isn't somewhere else, then let me know. If it is, let me know where it is and why I'm not finding it. And I would say, oh yeah, the other thing. You were talking about the X weekly batch. Like, I still need to approve it. But I thought I already approved it and had it scheduled. So let me know about these two things, and then we can go from there. Let me know. Let me know, and then we can go from there. So little time, so much AI. Sometimes you just gotta pull up a whole stack of data in front of you, and it seems like it doesn't make any sense how it's arranged, and just have all the data, and then just start going through it. And then it starts to make sense how to arrange it. But just thinking about the stack of data and how to arrange it without actually going through it, I feel like that's not the way. I feel like this is like a great life lesson. Like sometimes in life, you gotta just start doing something. And then you know. The batch is scheduled, so what were you talking about? Nothing moved. I thought you said you were gonna split it. Oh, I see. Split the meaning of the check mark, not the card, into two places. Kanban. In a Kanban style. Welcome to the chat, Synthetic. Do I understand the code and read it over, or just generate and push? I do read the code, most of it, and I'm learning as I go. I don't understand it 100%, but I'm getting better day by day in the science of code. I think I could spend more time learning code, but trying to keep the balance of moving forward and making progress and learning at the same time. Glasses inside, and it's nighttime too. I wear my sunglasses inside at nighttime sometimes. Yup, just feel like it right about now. Maybe I was staring at the sun too much today, and my eyes just feel kind of like a little bit irritated, maybe. This is like that red sun from like the movies. No, I think it's because like there's some like forest fire smoke in the air, so it's making the sun red. But like I kept staring at it because it looked so cool. And then went straight to the computer. I don't know. My eyes just felt different today. Synthetic is saying yikes. Oh man. Thank you for the good luck. You know, patience, God, and time. Just keep on working. I'm making progress. I'm seeing how code is valuable, but it is not 100% necessary, because people who have come before me have not learned, do not understand how to write or read code 100%, but they are making profitable businesses with vibe coding. And it's awesome to see that the quality of vibe coding gets better over time, so it's going in that direction. Welcome to the chat, C Films. Respect every time. I'm doing alright. Hopefully you're doing good too. Just got in another good mountain biking ride. Got a window of mountain biking before the rains come again and then the bugs get really bad. So trying to make the most out of it. So it says /review. It's the daily work. Alright, so then why don't I see that? Right, okay. Mission control. So then how do I get review? It's not the pipeline. It's not the table. It's not the loop. So that answers that question why I can't find it. Alright. Alright. I think it makes sense now why I can't find it. You gave me that address. It's /review. So when I added /review to the end, it worked and I found it. But when I'm trying to find review through the browser, doesn't seem to be any link for it. So let me know. Am I missing this link? I'm looking at mission control right now. I don't see anything for review. If you could put right there in mission control, maybe like a daily review or something like that link so I can easily get to that page, that would help a ton. And then that's good to hear. We've already got the X stuff taken care of. It sounds like you understand why you didn't recognize that this was already done and scheduled. So you can take care of that so it doesn't happen in the future. And let me know about all the stuff that I just told you, and then we can go on to the next stuff from there. All types of things. Things and tings. Here we go. Thank you for that. Bless up every time, C Films. Tega's giving me a link for Quen. Quen is on my list of agents to try. This is not a good song. Think about giving this station one more chance. Switching up. Yacht rock. It's that rock hip. My keyboard got damaged. I'll not try this one out. Something new. Alright. Feature gate, record the call. Then build the tool. Only if the gate passed. I don't like this station already. Alright, but I'll give it a chance. We got this response, this output, the rundown. Missing link. You weren't missing anything. It didn't exist. It was never there from the start. But I just saw it. Alright, so I should be able to refresh it and see it. Yep, daily review. Awesome. Bonus fix while you were in there. Feel free to make some bonus fixes while you're down in there. The tables, link on mission control, the loop page, and the fleet map still pointed at dash, nothing, comma, dot, 4. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh man, I kind of remember what that was from, but now I understand. Which, since the merge lands on old modules homepage instead of the data tables, those now point at fleet. You taught the standalone server that address too, so the link works everywhere. Okay. Four. Rock and roll. My life is a rock and roll joyride. Daily loop is now week to daily review to work a few cards and then tick today's dot. Okay, I'm not going to nitpick over like where the dots are. They shouldn't be where they are, but that's like I can get to that later. Main thing is moving through this flow. And I understand it way better why that wasn't working. So we got the link now. I can check to make sure it works. The daily review. Yep. Mission control. Should be able to go right back there. Yes, okay. Now that's working right. That's what I thought. I knew it, Claude. I knew it was in there somewhere. I just had to bring it out of you. The right place at the right time. Still genuinely open this week. Alright, making progress. Got through that first part, and it makes sense now. So, the next part is the number 2, listen and decide. The next card says me, feature gate, record the call. So, from what I'm seeing, like, this is about the feature that we would build each week. And one part of that is it doesn't have to be one feature. Maybe some weeks there's multiple features, but for right now, can just leave it the way it is and change that multiple feature part later. And I just want to make sure that it's like working correctly and I understand it. So for this card, it says only give me the option to mark as done, but I can't read anything. So shouldn't this card, from what I understand, be a place for me to read the results for the research into where it sees the best possibility for making a feature? And it's been at least a week or two since I've gone through that process, so maybe what I'm thinking is give me like a few of the best ideas and then let me decide and give me your pick on what you think would be the best is, but still let me decide. So let me know, am I understanding this correctly? Is that what's going on behind this card? And this is not actually an agent, this is just like a me, like a human in the loop manual step that I need to do. So if I'm understanding this correctly, then go ahead and build a button on that card so I can actually like read the data and see. You know, I don't know. I guess I don't 100% understand what record the call means. So help me understand what I'm not understanding, and let's get this making sense to me. Yeah. Now what? How come I'm still alive then? Did it, Claude. Alright. Welcome back to the chat, Bone Circuit. Did any of those concepts sink in now there's some time under the bridge? Yes. Yes, those concepts have sunk in. I have done some more research into them, dug deeper. And let's see, the main thing I think we were talking about was deterministic and non-deterministic, and how that relates to storing data, and you know, error rates and how that can compound, making sure that the right kind of deterministic or non-deterministic system is in place for the right purpose. And that was like the main part of it, but there was like a lot more to it. So definitely thank you for that. That definitely was like very valuable information that I would have never thought to research on agents, probably until I started getting problems, and then I would have had to figure it out. So I'm guessing you probably saved me some future problems that I didn't even know were coming. So respect every time. And definitely good to reason with you about building out these agents. I think right now you can kind of see the workflow I've got in the background for this first agent team that I've got. I'm not sure with how you manage your agents, but from what I'm thinking is like, you know, the better you get at managing agents, the more agents you can manage, and then, you know, the better quality of the output you're gonna get. So I'm thinking about doing it like this, essentially like having like a mission control dashboard and 3 different views, like this week, like the Kanban style with the cards, the flow graph, like how all the agents are connected together, and then the fleet, like each individual agent, and then like the like how much it costs, and usually like average how long it takes to run. And then I can also like pause the agents through here, so letting me know like which agents are built and not built yet, which ones are working and waiting and stuff like that. What I'm thinking about basically like doing a similar mission control for like each different team of agents that I have. And then from what I understand, I'll get to like places in the future where like certain teams will want to communicate like in between the teams for different things of data. But I just got to keep building and learn as I go. I think that's when I learn the most, is when I'm actually building and like running the agents. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. So you're saying finding out at the problem layer is a headache? Definitely have learned that lesson a few times with developing and coding. So I'm trying to get better at, you know, doing processes right from the start, avoiding those kind of issues. And you're saying for you, the flow graph is a text file in a format called mermaid.js. Feel like that sounds familiar, Mermaid, but guess that graph kind of looks cool, but it's also kind of confusing. Text file maybe would make more sense the way it'd be like structured. I should try just getting a variation of a text file just to see how it works. It mimics a business hierarchy. Definitely, that's what I'm trying to do. Or wait, maybe you're talking about the mermaid.js is that format mimics a business hierarchy. Let me see real quick. I was talking with somebody who builds agents, and they're talking to me that they for their flow graph, they use a text file in a format called mermaid.js. And also something called an ORG chart. Can you explain to me what these things are and how they would relate to building a team of agents for like business AI employees? Because really, I mean, like, just kind of the end game seems like create an agent for everything that should be created for, and that's like part of it is knowing what to create an agent for. But I mean, at the end of the day, like how much time I have as a human being to do CEO level tasks is I think probably one of the biggest factors on how well the business will do. And I mean, I've already cut this one marketing flow with these agents down from like 10 to 15 hours to like 1 to 5 hours, and I feel like I could even do better. So you're saying imagine the CEO at the top, then directors, then workers. Go to the web and search for org chart diagram for sure. Okay, I understand that mermaid viewer. Clean visual flowchart. That would make sense then with the that's like less confusing than the way I have it, I feel like. Ask the LLM for an org chart and mermaid.js template. Sounds like a good idea. Just gonna do that on a new terminal so I don't have to interrupt the workflow I had going. All right. All right, so looking at the dashboard as I have it now, I've got 3 different views. I've got this week, the flow chart and the fleet. I want to add another view. Essentially, I'm talking to someone who understands agents and agent teams better than I do, and they mentioned that I should get a ORG chart in Mermaid.js template. So I just right now, like I'm not really sure right now how I'm gonna use it as part of the workflow. But right now I just want it as like a visual aid so that it's on mission control and I can toggle on the top between that option. So go ahead and build that and create that file and then give me Any advice you have on like how I could kind of like use that as part of my workflow? Maybe it's like, you know, checking off certain steps, or like seeing like a green dot on an agent that's already ran and a red one that hasn't. Just any ways you could think of that could kind of help me like internalize this entire flow. So I see what you're saying, I think, too. You're saying I don't want to like a mega ultimate team. I want multiple small teams until they work well. So like just build the small teams until they work well, and then maybe like the future would be just communication in between the small teams with like another layer of agents. But maybe I shouldn't even be thinking that far ahead. I should just be like focused right now on building better small teams, probably. So like this team I feel like is like 80% built. And then like I get the keep going through the workflow, get the other 20% built, have it so like the entire thing is on the dashboard and I can follow it along and make sure it's working like well. And then start giving it like higher, more complex tasks to do is kind of what I'm thinking right now. And then start building like the next highest priority workflow, basically. Awesome. A primary goal is to control your teams offline without third-party costs at key points in your system. In 1 year, your system has to stay abstracted. Alright, I do not know what this means, so this is good learning and experience. Alright, so this goes on to we're talking about building out teams, and instead of making like one big team for the whole business, talking about making like different smaller teams that, you know, would handle like different workflows and get them working really well before they get connected. And then I'm going to copy and paste what the person was saying, because they're saying basically like a primary goal is to control your teams offline. And not really sure what they mean 100% by controlling the teams offline without third-party costs at key points in your system. That's the main part I don't understand. Without third-party costs at key points in the system. In 1 year, your system has to stay abstracted. Can you break this down better so I understand better? Ninja teams. The ninjutsu. Saving money on software subscriptions and keeping the system flexible so it doesn't break as technology evolves. Oh, I want to... Okay, so you're saying I want to run the agents offline without online account costs. So like local machine, basically. So like the only difference there is like I have to just keep a machine running all the time. And pay for the machine versus pay for the cloud access. But that definitely brings up a ton more questions that I have once I'm done reading this. So this part I don't understand. Messages passing through a third-party wrapper or middleware platform. So I don't think I was doing that anyway, but gotta understand that better. And welcome to the chat, Nick Vanderwettering. Respect every time. And thank you for the positivity, more abundance, more prosperity to us all. I'll definitely keep up the good work. And I feel like just get my skills better and better. And I mean, I already think the things I'm creating are awesome, but I think I can get better at this and create some things that can provide a ton of value to society. So that is my goal. Okay, so help me understand better the third-party costs. So like, I'm not 100% sure how my agents are communicating with each other, but there's not like a manager agent. I think it's just like when one agent gets done. Actually, I should look into this and understand this better so I can understand if I'm doing this. Just explain to me better what is like a third party wrapper or middleware platform, and what does that do so I can avoid that. And Bone Circus saying, you wrote for a model in 1 week, all your code was junk as a new model came out. Now you keep it way more abstracted away from single models. So by abstracted, basically like you're just not using Anthropic or OpenAI for your whole system. Like you've got like an open router or something where you can switch up each agent with a different model. And most likely like a good setup is not going to be multi-agent team is not going to be all Anthropic models. There's going to be other models outside Anthropic that work better and cheaper. So like just not using one model for the whole team. Okay, that's awesome. I'm understanding that now. And then yep, the cost can change too overnight. And then if you just stay stuck into one provider, you can't just like switch up the model. So I've got that set up. That was something I learned the hard way. Claude, I didn't even know. Claude like tried to essentially lock me into using Anthropic with this whole system. And I had to like really grill it on like why I was doing what I was doing and how to not do it like that. And it was like trying to push back on why I need to like just keep using Anthropic. But no, I know I did it the right way now. You wrote your own bespoke system with models locally. No tokens, no APIs unless you need to visit outside internet. Okay, so that's like kind of the main thing I'm at right now is like what's like for locally is the main benefit just like saving the money. So like, you know, if I buy $1,000 local machine that I leave running all the time, but it only costs me like $1 to $2 a week to run an agent system in the cloud, then is that the only like benefit? If it's, you know, if it's cheaper to just run it in the cloud, because, you know, if it's $1 or $2 a week, that's going to take, you know, like say that's $60 a year in cost, or a local machine costs like $1,000. That's kind of the only reason I've heard of why people would want to switch to a local machine. So no tokens, no APIs, and then Claude has been leaking the prompts for a while. Not sure what leaking the prompts means, but let's see. Okay, so third-party platforms are like N8N and Zapier. LangGraph. And I don't need those. At least in this first team, I don't have any of those set up. Post the logic in Python, that's what I'm doing. There are benefits to pure local until you need it. Oh, right. Oh, weird. Claude is like controlling my browser right now in the background. What is it doing? Oh, that's okay. So here's the org chart that it built. Don't know why it's doing browser control for this, but hey. That's cool. Okay. Alright, so I'm trying to understand now. I'm being told that basically the best setup is using all local. So right now I have a cloud setup. I'm doing Railway. And what I'm wondering is like, how important is it to get on a local setup? From what I understand, like the cost is the main issue, but there's probably more to it than that. So help me understand, like, what is the benefits to having a local setup over having like a cloud setup? How I was planning on doing this. There's, think of it like this. Local first, user. Server second, APIs third. Definitely need to understand this better. It's not one or another, it's stages. That's kind of what I thought you meant. Like, first get the local, like the agents set up locally. Then a server, then APIs. Local, cloud, then API. There's better privacy. I've heard that too. Okay. There's zero network latency. So it's faster. Can test crazy agent ideas where you don't know what the bill is going to be. Local, have to leave the computer on 24/7. It's expensive. Models like the new updates with GPT or Claude are noticeably better at complex reasoning and instruction following. And then it says no remote access. Like if I wanted to run my dashboard through my phone from anywhere, saying I can't do that with a local. When your agents scale up with random parts in subscriptions online, it doesn't blow out. You don't want a surprise 10 grand API bill from AWS. Nope. Alright, so I gotta understand that better, because that sounds like a good surprise to avoid. Alright. Okay, so this person is also basically saying like, local first, user server second, and APIs third. So are they just basically saying like, hook up the model with the local, then the server, then the API? Help me understand this part better. Deploy a light sail server. They don't explode like other containers. I got a lot more to learn. So like the main thing I'm confused is like you're saying these are kind of separate, but I mean I'm using a self-hosted cloud, but also APIs. So I think what this is saying is like, you're saying is that you can still use a cloud without the APIs. Oh, okay. Finding out to delegate different agents to different. So like maybe even in the same like team of agents, some of the agents would be on a local model and some of them it would make more sense to have them on the cloud. this right here, I think, looks like a really good explanation of what you were saying, like how to delegate the agent task to the right spot. Awesome. So kind of what I was thinking before was like, I was looking at it, like I'd understand later that certain things based on the cost would make more sense to move to a local model. So I was looking at just building everything just through like Cloud API, like I'm doing, and then just like using that to kind of like build it and see how it works. But now I just want to make sure that I'm not gonna like have any of these issues come up like you're saying with the API bill. Okay. Alright, so this is making more sense. And the next thing I want to understand better is they're talking about there's a way to have when my agents scale up with random parts and subscriptions online that I don't want it to blow out. Because I don't want a surprise 10 grand API bill from AWS. And they're saying a good way to prevent this is to deploy a light sail server. They're neat and don't explode like other containers. So there's a few things I want to break down. Kind of this whole thing, like what do they mean by explode? Why would I get a surprise bill, big bill from AWS? I think like I don't think I'm even using AWS. I think Railway is kind of what I'm using. But maybe I don't understand that. And what do they mean by agents scaling up with random parts in subscriptions online? So break this whole thing down for me, kind of part by part. So that sounds like that's good to hear you say that too. You think for where I'm at right now, proceed with cloud as the primary, but just watch the cost. In the next refactor, you might start a local project first. Feel free to expand those out, definitely. Same with railway. It operates much more like light sail than complex AWS. Can set rate limits in railway. If the agents ever run amok, can't have my agents out there running amok. Hit the dollar limit, railway immediately shuts off your server rather than billing your card. Definitely got to take that note down. Definitely got to have Obsidian up to take the note down. Check to make sure I have rate limits set up on railway. Alright, so Deep Web Impact, welcome back. Respect every time. Hello to you too. Bone Circuit says being right back. Enjoy your coffee. Imagine I have a local robot. This is why I want it local. Eventually I want local robots in a micro factory for the physical logistics components. Bots can spin up crazy costs if you're not careful. Have I set a hard limit? I thought I did, but I just took a note to double check to make sure. I know I have rate limits with all my other API keys set up that deal with any kind of money. So I think I would have, but I'm not 100%. And I did have Claude control in my browser during some of the setup. So Deep Web is saying he's having Kimmy K3 make up Alpine Linux install script. That is above my head. I gotta look this up. There's one more thing I wanted to look up right now about this this agent stuff though. So the other person agreed that like where I'm at right now, I should just proceed in the cloud and just watch the cost, just be aware of what's going on. And it sounds like then like in the future when I understand this better and I start seeing what agents it would make sense to migrate to local, then I should do that. And that's mostly going to come through cost and understanding costs over time. But this person is also saying that IMPW, that in the next refactor you might start a local project first. What do you think they mean? Whoa, that's cool. Okay, I see what you're saying. That makes more sense than Deep Web making a script that can put from the internet and run on any device. And it will install your work environment and connect all your accounts. That sounds like money just from the like the viewpoint of like every day I have to just kind of set up my work environment, and that probably takes like 5 to 10 minutes. That I would just save that time every day by just pushing a button. Because like right now, kind of the alternative to that, what I'm seeing is just like build a dashboard and then put it up on Vercel so it's live, or just make it a live site and then just like control it from that site. But I don't know if you could do all that stuff with installing your work environment. That sounds like something where you'd need more. So I should look into learning Grafana and hook up graphs. I think you're saying that's to watch the spend for my team. I see what you're saying. Starting it locally, usually when you're building out the agents, is saying when they'll have the most issues, most likely to like run up a big bill. So if you just kind of like start and train them locally, then you contain that. Alright, this was something I was not aware of before. So essentially you're saying like when I'm first setting up a team of agents, like that's probably when I'll encounter the most problems. So that's why I should try it on a local system first. And I can just let them run and then like that's like kind of the only way to find out some of the problems that are gonna happen. And then that can be contained. You're talking about letting the local AI make 500 mistakes, loop endlessly. So basically, from what I understand, like Railway has a lot of guards so this doesn't happen. And other than that, what I've kind of been thinking is like build out the agent system, like code it with Claude Code and build it. And then, is it possible to just work with like Claude Code and VS Code to manually run each agent for like the first few runs? And then that could catch any problems? Or is that local version kind of the only way to do what I'm thinking? Let me know if I'm understanding this correctly and if there's any extra advice you have. Alright, it's good for data, spend, and other trackers. Not only do you want to track data coming in, spend in accounts, but other things like LLM token speed and if LLM is currently warmed up, etc. Let them run on local synthetic data for many revisions and then unleash them later like a pride of cats. That's what I want to do. So it sounds like this loop problem is more like something that happens when two agents or more are trying to communicate with each other. Double check to make sure I have rate limits on all APIs, including OpenRouter. All right, reading in the comments. I remember you were talking about that Agora, your system, a way for text agents to talk and listen. So I think next I gotta understand that graph part more that you were talking about, and then I'll get to that. Okay, so it sounds like what you're saying is basically like testing it first through Claude Code, and then if it works, deploy it to Railway, and then once it's on Railway, um, essentially like all I can really do is just hope I catch it if it's doing something, but it could do something wrong really quick. So the best thing I can really do is just have rate limits on like any API. Other than that, I mean, like you're saying, a problem could happen real quick where, like, you know, in 2 minutes something could, like, run up a bill. But just rate limiting is, like, really the only way to stop something like that. Is that correct? Code level safeguards stop runaway loops automatically in milliseconds. Thank you, Bone Circuit. I'm definitely still paying attention. I'm just checking to see if Claude has implemented those security features. Then I'll look into that graph. So take your time getting your coffee. It'll probably be a minute before I'm ready for the next piece of info. Alright, so I was just learning about ways to make sure, like, my agents don't end up going in loops and, like, ending up, like, spending too much or having problems getting stuck. I'm going to give you, copy and paste some of the information that I've got. What I want you to look in to see if this stuff is implemented into this project as far as the agents go with, like, the agent workflow. And the main thing I do think I remember you were saying, the agents have a cap. I don't know if it's all the agents or some of them based on how many tokens they can use per run. And that was like one way to keep this in check. But let me know, look into this and let me know how it's set up. If it's set up like this, if you think that it could be set up better based on any of these concepts, and then we can go from there. Deep Web is saying, just found something really cool. There's a guy with servers that you can curl for info, like curl rates AXBTC. I'm not sure what that means. I want to find out though. Let me just finish going down this this thread that I'm going down right now. I feel like I'm almost caught up. Alright, the person is saying to me, imagine you have a local robot. This is why you want it local. Eventually you want local robots in a microfactory for the physical logistics components. So what are they saying basically for the benefits to running agents locally with this analogy? The end goal should be a self-contained automated unit. Alright, they're also saying that a good way to catch or to watch your usage and spend in like all the agents is to learn Grafana, Grafana, and hook up graphs. It's good for data, spend, and other trackers. Not only do you want to track data coming in, spend in accounts, but other things like LLM token spend and if LLM is currently warmed up. Alright, so explain to me what this Grafana is and hooking up graphs. Is this just to like check the different parts of spend? Because I did do something with my dashboard to control these agents to where it shows the spend for each agent and like how long it took to run. So I think essentially that's what it's saying, is like doing graph view for these different metrics. Let me know if I'm understanding this correctly. Let me know what you think I don't understand. And what are they talking about if an LLM is currently warmed up? Research more about setting up Grafana for agents. So this person is saying their strategy is like letting their agents run on local synthetic data for many revisions and then unleash them later like a pride of cats. So help me understand, what is letting the agents run on local synthetic data for many revisions? Like, what is this and what does it essentially do? What is the purpose of this? Research more on giving my agents tests, like synthetic data, fake data that they need to process, and test them on how well they do their job to see if I can find any kind of bugs or problems by using fake data before I have them running through real data. That's too long. Research more on synthetic testing for my agents to give them fake data to process and grade them on how well of a job they do. There we go. Right. Also, they've mentioned ninja teams multiple times now in developing. What does ninja teams mean in reference to teams of agents? And then they're also talking about, for ninja teams, I want something called a shared communication document. They speak into this document and read from this document. It's a way for text agents to talk and listen. Yeah. Research ninja teams and how they use a shared communication document. This is for creating teams of agents and making sure that they communicate effectively and that I can look at the document and see how they're communicating. All right, getting caught up. List all your hard limits as part of your dashboard. List all hard limits as part of dashboard for agent team. Alright, so now, Deep Web. I'm going to see what you're talking about. You just found something cool. There's this guy with servers you can curl for info. Like you can get coin prices. They also have one for the weather. Let's see what this is. Another person in my chat is talking about they found something really cool. There's a guy with servers that you can curl for info. Like curl rate.sx/btc. They're saying, I'm not going to click the link because it's on the stream, but they're saying like you can get coin prices. They also have one for the weather. So I'm not really sure what curl means. This guy has a bunch of servers that I can like search for info. That's kind of what I'm guessing. And I can get like coin prices or the weather. I mean, like I already have access to coin prices and like a weather app. Are they saying that this is just like all in one place so you don't have to go to like different apps to get different types of information? Help me understand this. What are the benefits to it? Stuff like that. And all other types of things. What is the scenario? You're saying it's probably not very useful for me. It's just in the terminal and cool. Definitely understanding it is just cool to me right there. I want to learn. Curl is simply a quick command line tool that lets developers grab web data instantly from a terminal window without opening a full web browser. Oh, okay. This is really good, like, for AI agents. So, like, places that your agents can go to get data. Or if you just want to access it through the terminal. That is interesting. Data for the agents. Alright. Curl is an old Unix program that reaches out to the web like a browser but returns text. Awesome. And definitely thanks for the all the information so far, because definitely taking me to another level with this stuff. I can tell. Just got to keep building and learning. Keep getting better and better. Part of the bespoke deterministic toolbox is a curl and widget wrapper. They are similar creatures. I think I know what you mean, but I'm going to make sure that I understand this. So now, person in the comments is saying that part of your bespoke deterministic toolbox is a curl and widget wrapper. So I think what they're saying is basically like, for my agents, they'd have a bespoke deterministic toolbox. That would mean like a custom deterministic, meaning like it doesn't hallucinate or make any mistakes, basically. And the toolbox is like all the, you know, tools that my agents have access to. So they would have a widget and a curl, a widget wrapper and a curl, and they're similar creatures. They are software tools to reach out to the web. So am I understanding this correctly? Is there anything else you can add? Yes, I'm getting it now. Oh, it's not widget, it's WGET. Okay. Alright, so I guess I got that wrong. It's not widget, it's WGET. And I guess this is a super important part of agents. WGET and curl. Software tools to reach out to the web. So, now that I've corrected you on this, re-explain this to me now that you understand it's not widgets, but it's WGET. Spelling change shifts the meaning completely. Implementation for agents. For being deterministic. Yes. Right. And thanks again, Bone Circuit. Definitely learning a lot from you every time. So enjoy your walk with the branch manager, and definitely stay humble, keeping it organic. The ITEL living all the time, all the while. Okay, looking at this, there is your pick, or I mean the LLM's pick for the top idea, for the top feature to build. And then it shows open candidates in the ideas registry, no build call recorded yet. So I think these are ideas that have been sitting there that are just waiting, and these ones have the option to open the build gate and record the call. What does that mean? Open the build gate and record the call. I know you said it, but I'm still a little bit confused. And why is it not giving me that option for the research agent's pick? The top pick at the top. It seems like it's only giving me that option. So what I'm guessing is that option means like pick that idea for the build. And just to verify also, like this build is for mainly like the weekly tool that I was planning on building, one tool a week that uses AEO and SEO. And this is more part of like a marketing routine, so it gives people like that are searching for the same pain points that we discover in the marketing, and it's like a tool to bring people onto the site and get ranked on like Google over time. Let me know if I'm understanding everything correctly, and mainly does it make sense that the top research agent's pick does not have the open the build gate, record the call link? Because I don't see any way to like approve of that. If I want to do the research agent's pick, then I don't see how to pick that, I guess, is the main thing I'm saying. This is so awesome. I mean, I've been doing this business stuff for so long, and like this marketing process, it's always been like just constantly scrambling to like get the marketing process done for the week so I can have like extra time to get everything else done. And I'm already like, I don't even have the whole system set up yet, and I'm already seeing like massive benefits, like the time mainly. It's like each time I use this system with the agents, it gets better, and I can keep making it better and quicker. And I'm just seeing now I can just like set up these teams for all different parts of the business, and it's everything I always wanted and more. I'm very happy for myself. Been a great asset to the organization, the community, the company. found an actual hole and I filled it. I fixed it. Not working, like you said. Alright, I refreshed the page, and now it's not showing when I click open the gate, see the evidence on the feature gate, record the call card. It's not showing anything anymore. So it seems like it broke something. But go ahead, find out what's wrong, see if you can make that fix. And then essentially, I don't understand it 100%, but I think what's going on is, like, that's the idea. Once I click to pick this, add it to the registry, and open its build gate, then it basically sends it through a process where it's like evaluated to see if it's worth building. And that's a process that I don't understand as an agent doing that. Am I doing that? How is that getting done? So, like, say for the week's best, like, pick, that I want to pick that and I want to build out a feature for that, I would just click the button and then the agent would do its evaluation or however it's doing it. And if it agrees with me, then it'll say, like, hey, you know, like, let's build this out. So now I'm starting to get maybe like ahead to the next card and step. So help me understand everything I don't understand that I just brought up, and then go ahead and see if you can't fix what just broke. If it's not broken, don't fix it. I feel like I've had to say that to a lot of people in my life. That's like a concept that I think I've just like intuitively understood from like a long time. And I see so many people that are constantly trying to fix things that aren't broken, and then they break them. And I'm like, why did you even try to fix it in the first place? It was not broken. Like, oh, well, I was trying to make it better. It's like, well, you made it worse. Now everyone has to deal with it. You keep doing that over and over again. I tell them that, and they keep doing it. I'm like, how come people are wired like that? Like, why are people how wired to, like, constantly be looking to fix things that aren't broken just to, like, try to make them 1% better, and then they end up breaking it and, like, making... Oh, man. That's, like, so annoying to me. But anyways, yeah, a lot of people do that, and I can't seem to help them. Maybe I'm doing it in certain ways and I'm not even aware myself. So looking back at the chat, C Films is working on code fixes and improvements. There you go. Pretty much same thing right here. Just did a fix right now. Let me see if it worked. Yes, it did. Awesome. Nothing but filing. So I'll just approve it. Mark as idea. Oh, I see. It was an idea, now it's approved, but that doesn't really do anything. That's not even a necessary step, I think. Alright, so on the first pick, I went and approved it. And I see how it's approved now, and I'm looking at the page, and there's those questions, like the registry match, the target query, differentiation angle. I do not want to have to be filling those out myself every idea, every week. It sounds like what you're saying is, like, the agent is set up to pick an idea from the research, but it doesn't really do any kind of like grading. It just kind of like looks at the research and then picks an idea. I'm not sure the criteria it uses, but then it's saying like, I'm doing the manual step right here, making sure I approve this idea, and then those questions. This is where right now it makes the most sense to have you, not an agent for now, but to like each week, I can tell you like, okay, I picked this idea. It's idea 47, financial tool type explainer. So then now what you would do you would be doing all these things for me, like filling out those boxes. Like you can look into that, you can look into C to make sure it's not too similar or exactly like another tool that I've already built. It sounds kind of similar to, I think, the last one I built, which was like all about, you know, is this education or advice? But this sounds different. So you would be doing right now like all the different steps to like verify that this is actually a good idea for a tool to build. All the marketing stuff that goes with it, anything I can't think of. I'd rather do more research than less. So basically each week this will just be a task for you, and I guess make sure you can see that I did this process correctly, that I, you know, correctly approved that idea, and then go ahead and do the research if everything looks good, and let me know what you come back with, and then we can go from there. I'll be back looking for Sarah Connor. Alright, I agree with what you're saying for your reasons to build this. I want you to build this if you can access the Finance Hub repo. Actually, that goes to another thing. There's two Finance Hub repos. One of them is old. And there's the newer repo that is essentially Stackivate. That's the full repo. I was wondering, should I delete the old repo that's like not being used anymore? And from what I understand, you can just go into that repo and build it from here. I don't need to like open up that new repo in a new VS Code window. So I guess go ahead and do the build if that's what you can do, and let me know what you think about having two different Finance Hub repos. One of them that's old and I don't use anymore. Said I'm getting older. Doctor says I'm gonna need an operation. I was just watching Murphy Brown. And my doctor called and said I was gonna need an operation. I was just drinking a beer and watching Judge Judy after a long day of work at the office. Oh, no way. C Films was watching Family Matters last night. That's awesome, man. That's one of the best shows of all time. Carl and Steve and Laura. I still remember all their names. You're on season 6. Man, that was that I feel like they gotta have at least 10 seasons. That was definitely like that was like one of the main shows, and I remember it so well too. Welcome to the chat. In your opinion, the hardest part is selling a product, not building it. I would definitely agree. It's getting easier and easier to build this stuff, but like, are you building something that people actually want to buy? And then once you build something people actually want to buy, do you know how to let them know about it in a way that they want to buy it? This is basically it's weird because like now anybody can pretty much build anything, and the bar is like really dropped, but that makes it more difficult to even more difficult to sell, because now there's so many more products that you have to compete against. But at the same time, from what I'm seeing, is that the majority of people out there, from the research I'm doing, they're not marketing their apps or whatever they're building. They're barely putting any effort into marketing. They just put it out and then they hope that they get sales, and if not, then they just go build something else. You're saying that you build really cool and useful products, but seemingly can't manage to sell it. Well, I guess if you want to know any advice from me on marketing, let me know like your basic marketing process. Like, are you just using social organic marketing? Are you using paid ads? Influencers? And you know, that definitely depends on like the product too. Like each products are kind of different, but if you wanna pick my brain and see what I think, see if maybe there's anything I can help you with, feel free. Family Matters has 9 seasons with 215 episodes. That makes, I believe it. I was thinking 10. but close enough. 215 episodes. I've probably seen them all, but I haven't seen the last episode of Family Matters in like, I think one of my friends had it on like 5 years ago when I was there at the house, and I watched it for like 20 minutes, but no, I used to watch that show like every day. I remember that. Midwest. Perfect Strangers. I remember Perfect Strangers. Family Matters is spun off from Perfect Strangers. I didn't remember that. That seemed like two very different like shows, like groups of people. But yeah, that Perfect Strangers, that one, like, I don't remember that one as well as Family Matters. I think Family Matters was way better than Perfect Strangers. Perfect Strangers was like I think one guy was like an immigrant, and his like English was really bad, and people would always like misunderstand him, and it would be funny. But that's like all I remember from that show. Whereas like I remember like everything about well, not everything, but I remember a lot about Family Matters. Carl Winslow worked with the Chicago PD, and their next door neighbor Steve wore the glasses and was like really smart, like technical computer stuff. And Steve liked Laura. Laura didn't like Steve. And can't remember the older brother's name though. He was cool. Their mom was always coming through with insight. Oh, the mom on Family Members was the elevator operator on Perfect Strangers. I did not know that. That's super interesting. And then they got in the elevator together, and somebody was like, that woman needs her own family and her own TV show. And then turned out to be even better than Perfect Strangers. Okay, so It's Not QWERTY is using X and LinkedIn for social media promotion and posting regular long-form articles on your website's blog. Also using email for networking and some cold outreach. I would say try out some social channels and just repurpose the same content you're using for LinkedIn and your blogs. Repurpose those on some social content. Try out different social channels. Just give it maybe like, I don't know, 2 months. 2 to 3 months probably. Shouldn't take too much extra time. And then just check the data. You might find that like one of the social channels works really well and the others don't. Maybe just like get rid of the other ones and keep doing the one that works. I would definitely recommend setting up some social. And that's also too if you're planning on, like if this is something that you're planning on have more of a longer time frame to actually like sell. Like if you're just giving it like a month or 2 months to try out the idea, and if it doesn't work, you'll pass and try the next idea, then I would probably advise against social media unless you're going to be working in the same niche. You can link your media plan if I'm fine with you linking a file upload. So I definitely don't click on any files in the text or in the chat just for security. But trying to think of where maybe you could link it that's not in the like. I would take a look at it if you can think of a more secure way than through the chat. But otherwise, I'll when I'm done with this task, I'll try to remember to ask AI about the best way to send that information. Can you start up the dev server for Stackivate so I can start that up and check out that tool and let you know, make sure it's working right, so then we can push it. And I'll just manually delete the old repo. Alright, so I found it. For some weird reason, when I tried just opening up the local host, it was making me sign in. I'm not sure why I did that, but then I was just able to go straight to this link and I didn't need to sign in. So changing the answers, it made sense. My answers that I want to learn by myself, that's basically what it told me from the read. You're saying, look through this, give it a real click through, and read the copy with your no AI tell I. So, I mean, everything looks good to me. For no AI tell I, I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about. The main thing is I think the design could be a little bit better. But that's like, doesn't seem to me to be a high priority. This page, I think, from what it sounds like, it's more about marketing. I'm going to give you a screenshot so you can see the design. Let me know how important on a scale of 1 to 10 you actually think it is to make the design better for these tools. My gut is telling me that it's really not that big of a deal and I can just add it on of a to-do list when I get to it. So that being said, unless you see something else, let me know. Otherwise, I would say it's good to go ahead and do a push. And then the next card, all I'm seeing is it just basically says, like, mark is done when the feature is created. So, like, if that's all I have to do is just know to manually mark that after the feature is created, then I'll do that after it's being pushed. And then how does it work from there, like with the agents? So, like, from what I understand, one of the agents is creating a video idea for this feature, and obviously it doesn't know what video to create until it knows what feature is built. So then it should be like able to look at the feature to create the script, from what I understand. So help me know, like, for this next step, is this something that an agent does? How does it work in the process? Looking back at the chat, Try Hard Films. Vibe coding is great. You love doing your projects and going hands off between Solid 5.6 Max and Claude Fable 5. 20x for sanity checks. 20x, I think, are you just talking about the plan? Like Fable 5 Max plan, 20x? Probably not that important either way, but yeah, I mean, I would totally agree 100%. I love vibe coding. Super interesting. Been learning a ton. It's an awesome journey to where, like, you know, I don't know how it's going to play out. I know what I want to build, and then I build it, and then, like, I get the next idea to build something better. Wish I had got into coding even before AI existed. Definitely enjoy developing and coding and just building. Like, I think to sum it all up, I just enjoy, like, the building process. Like, even these agents, like, I've got kind of like almost the agent team built, then I can start building on, like, more complex layers. Just maxing out on plans so you can run them at full power. Game deving a pirate themed voxel game, about 150 iterations in, and now working on NPS mechanics and pathfinding. Also doing some actually factual, not slop YouTube channel work. Definitely the YouTube game has gotten so much, I wouldn't say easier, because it's still like, you still gotta make good content, but easier to manage. AI has helped me with my social stuff so much. And I don't know much about building games. I don't really play games that much. Just not something I have like an experience that I would be confident in building games people would like, because I don't really know what games people like anymore. But definitely running them at full power. I like having the bigger plan, so I know I can just like, I don't have to watch the limits. I can just like run everything with the best model and not have to worry about waiting for a limit to reset, stuff like that. You do manual script writing and hands-off and review, but the agentic workflows are great for analytic checks and retention, refocusing on the scheduled upload pipeline. You do manual script writing and handoffs and review, but you like the agentic workflows. Essentially, I think that's like what you're saying, like what I'm building right now. Workflow with individual agents are great for analytic checks and retention, refocusing on the scheduled upload pipeline. So mainly you're using your agent team in regards to YouTube for analytic checks and retention, refocusing. Okay. I think I see what you're saying more. You're mainly using it to manage the analytics, and then use the analytics to guide the agents for like improved retention. So essentially, you could like have your agents look at your videos and see like, you know, what do all these videos have in common that have over 70% retention on a short. And look at the ones that have under 70%, like the worst ones, and see what they have in common. And then you can essentially like create data to help you craft better shorts that get better retention. And I did not know that having a goal for 70% or more retention on shorts is one of the main things to actually get the channel to grow and hit more viewers. I'm gonna take a note of that right now. Did not think I knew that. Agent task to focus on better than 70% retention on shorts for YouTube channel, because that's what it takes to grow the algo. Research. So looking back at the chat, you tested out 10 different formats. Let 3 to 5 of each run. Then with the Google Cloud Manager, got the API to automatically pull out your scheduled videos, redo them for CTR, follow rate, etc. So you got the API to automatically pull out your scheduled videos and redo them. So like, I don't understand, because are these videos that you recorded? So then you recorded and you put them on the schedule, and then it's basically taking the information, telling you like how to redo them, or it's like automatically, maybe it's like AI generated video. That's kind of similar to what I'm doing, except I don't have anything set up that can pull out scheduled videos and redo them. It's more like I schedule the video and then I get the analytics feedback, and then I try to like implement that into the next video from the start. I think I'm understanding that correctly, what you're saying. Alright, so the first thing I noticed is that on the card I went for the feature gate, record the call card. I clicked open the gate, see the evidence. Then I essentially approved that first idea. And I click done. But like nothing's happening with the first idea when I click open the gate. It's still showing that idea as being there. So like from what I understand, after I select an idea and the feature is built, then it should be removed from the feature gate. Record the call card. But it doesn't seem like it's doing that right now. So check that out and make sure that in the future and that this time that once I select something that it is removed. Or maybe like after I select it and then actually build it. So I'm going to click build the tool. I'm going to mark that as done. And then go ahead and create the script and everything that all the data that goes with it for this feature video for this new tool. Looking back at the chat. So you're saying some are evergreen, so the facts are always true. Some, I think you mean videos, are more targeted for if something is being talked about, like Iran economics with the war going on, and it'll run A/B testing for titles and descriptions, all automated. That's interesting because YouTube Studio already has A/B testing for titles. I don't know if they have it for descriptions though, and thumbnails. They do have it for thumbnails and titles. That seems to be the most important thing to me. But like, I don't understand. Are you saying you run it through the A/B testing through YouTube's own platform, or you have agents that are able to A/B test it? Which, like, that doesn't make sense to me. But it definitely makes sense then, like, if you have a video coming up and like a thing changes, then you'd have to change it. But that would make way more sense if these videos are AI generated videos. So then it could just like have an agent like change the video on the certain part you need to change instead of the whole process of having you like re-record a certain cut. You also have it rotating, posting different formats at different times of the day. So you never let one just get primetime boost. I don't understand that part. Posting different formats at different times of day. So just like you're posting the same type of content but in a different format at different times of the day. For game dev though, Claude is your go-to in every 6 to 7 marginal updates after playtesting. You do a handoff and batch update assessment to Codex and it'll bug test for you. That's my workflows basically, is Claude for the building, Codex for the auditing and bug testing. For example, you just added gamepad support as well as adding in Creative Commons licensed audio to trigger during in-game events, and Claude deployed them good, and Codex caught small render bugs Claude told you were fine, or neither you nor Claude noticed. Definitely having Claude check its own work is not always the best scenario. It's always good to have like for auditing, have a different model. Find things. But I want to understand this better, what you're talking about with primetime boost thing. All right, I was having another conversation in the chat, and basically this person is talking about their YouTube channel for like marketing and for using AI. And first they're talking about that 70% or more retention on shorts is crucial to getting a channel to actually grow in the algorithm and hit more viewers. Can you explain that? Is that true that 70% is kind of like the number once you get, is it like an average of 70% or more retention on your shorts, then it gets a huge boost? And then they're talking about they run A/B testing for titles and descriptions, all automated. So like YouTube has its own A/B testing. Do you think they're talking about something different than YouTube's A/B testing? And the main thing I want to understand better, they also have it rotating, posting different formats at different times of day, so they never let one just get primetime boost. What do you think they mean? They're just like putting out their content with different formats at different times of the day to see like what works better at different times of the day. And I don't understand this primetime boost thing. So there's some singular country focused videos as a format. Some are global comparisons, some are direct comparisons between two countries. So there's many different formats of videos. You never want to have the same format post at primetime viewership hours. Primetime viewership hours of the day, so it can more so prove that specific format works at any hours of the day. Not just getting lucky when more people are on YouTube. Oh, I see. So you're saying you want to understand that it's not just luck. So if you keep posting the same format of videos at the same time and it's like prime time, you don't know if it was the actual format or the time. But if you post different formats at prime time, then you can see, you can get data like, okay, this format works better at prime time than this other format, I think is what you're saying. Oh, okay, so with A/B testing, to do it like with your own agents, you can just have your agents send the data to YouTube through the API at certain time frames instead of, but I mean, it seems like to me like YouTube can already do that manually, so that's like extra work you don't need to set up. I'm wondering, like, is there a benefit, and what is the benefit to creating custom A/B testing for YouTube when it already has it? It says that you can measure impressions and clicks. Automatically pushes the highest performing text variations across social platforms. But I mean, it can measure that anyway, so I don't understand how that would give you better data. So I get what you're saying. It's just like more ways to do marketing, more ways to get data. Deliberately scheduling different formats across staggered time slots, looking for organic baseline performance. And then just using all that data to make your content better over time, basically. So the A/B testing you're doing is taking already posted winners and readjusting the pending scheduled ones to more align with the winners. YouTube A/B testing for shorts once they're out of the algo is basically useless. That's the main thing. Okay, so you're talking about shorts, so I didn't realize that YouTube, from what I understand, does not have any kind of short A/B testing. So that's super interesting. You built your own system, and really it's like pending schedule ones to more align with the winners. So you must have like a long schedule of videos. Because I'm just thinking, if you're readjusting all the pending schedule ones, then that's like so much more work. If you know you're gonna adjust them, if you know they're probably gonna be adjusted or you're going to adjust them, why not just wait until the data comes through and then make them so that you're not like having to like make them and then readjust them. But there's probably some reason that like I don't understand why it makes more sense. You're doing what you're doing, but definitely more things like, is the content auto-generated? That would make it way easier to do what you're doing, I think. Stuff like that. But either way, that's super interesting, and definitely like to learn about that. But I would have to say right about now, thinking that's it for today, and hopefully you all got a lot of value off of what I had to say and do. I know I definitely got some good value from you and the people that came through in the chat. So if you're new, well, or if you're new, respect to you. If not, welcome back. But either way, it's been a good day, making some good progress, learning from each other as we go and staying in the flow, doing what I know. And I think the weekly process is pretty much like done in 2 days, where it used to take out like 3 or 4, and I can still make it way better too. So feeling good and ready to come back on a new day and make these agents better. So that is it for today. I'm out.